love this guy.
Thanks, Pam.
And he came all the way from Illinois?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, that's where he lives. He came all the way from Wisconsin to see us.
Thanks, Pam. You should give Pam a big hand. She does so much. Woohoo! You know, last night we were at the restaurant, and you'd think she'd be busy just, you know, relaxing after everything's all set. She's working on a podcast. She's got a recorder out. She's like, let's make a podcast. She never stops. But, you know, you have to be driven like that. And it takes events to get people to drive them into action. I was lucky enough to have that. I was fired for teaching the kids about kindness. I live in the Midwest in the middle of meat and dairy land, so ideas about veganism are not tolerated, especially amongst teachers who are supposed to walk a tight line of conformity. We're not allowed to do anything outside of those boundaries, and if we are, you know, we're smacked down, and we don't. But you know, that's a story for another time. I would like to give you guys some working tools into action and how to go about your activism, because really, it's one thing to be upset about something, but then what do you do? Well, how do you know what to do? One of the greatest things that you can do is get involved with your schools. If you were to go into your school with vegan foods, maybe you join the PTA, the PTO, and you were to set up a day where you were to bring in vegan foods, you're going to introduce this to students, and they're going to be picking up on it, definitely. We have to reach kids, and if we're not involving kids in our activism, we're really wasting valuable time. Every 8 seconds in the USA, a kid is born. Think of that. And chances are he's going to be a meat eater. Every 8 seconds. Some of us have friends who are meat eaters, and really we shouldn't call them meat eaters. That's sanitizing it. Let's call them what they are, corpse munchers. So all of us have friends that are corpse munchers, and we don't want to upset them. We can't call them a corpse muncher because they're our friend. How do we get them to go vegan? We're going to keep being nice to them. We'll tell them, take your time. We understand it's a personal choice. How many people believe it's a personal choice? Thank you. It's not a personal choice when you're ruining my world and you're eating my friends. It's not. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to do any research. You don't have to do any research on the web. We don't need any more studies about global warming or pollution. We don't need to know anything else. All you have to do is ask your heart, is this right? It's not. It's wrong. Your heart never lies. These people that don't want to change, that know about the problem, they are the evil in the world. And you say, well, come on, you know, they're my friends. Yes, they're corpse munchers. How can they be the evil in the world? Maybe they don't know about factory farming, but you've told them. If they don't change, yes, they are the evil. Guess who else knows about the evil in factory farming and chooses to do nothing about it, not even talk about it? Our leader, President Obama. He will not address the vegan issue. He could become a vegan and set an example for the whole country, which would have amazing impact. And he knows about these problems. He has seen, he's seen the United Nations Long Shadow Report. He knows how factory farming is a bigger cause to global warming than all the cars combined. He knows it. He knows that a vegan diet, if we instill it in kids today, they're going to grow up with good eating habits. It'll solve the healthcare crisis. He admits this. If you go to YouTube and you type in Obama and vegan in a search, go on YouTube, enter in Obama and vegan, you're going to get a video from Nikki Benoit down in Florida. She asked Obama about the vegan issue in front of a big stadium in a school, and he hit on it. He said, that's an excellent question because it addresses global warming, the healthcare crisis, and he goes down the list. And he also even specifies it's a shame how we subsidize factory farming, yet we don't give money for fruits and vegetables and organics. See, he knows, but he's not doing anything about it. Why? Because it's our fault. We're not putting pressure on him. Two things you can do. One is obviously getting involved with your school, bringing in vegan foods and introducing things. The second thing you do is put pressure on our leaders. We have to put pressure on Obama to go vegan because he's not going to do it. I have all kinds of videos of him enjoying meat dishes and just saying how yummy it is. There's no way he's changing unless we put pressure on him. So we get what we deserve. We have to put pressure on Obama. How many people here today are going to commit to putting pressure on Obama? I want to see some hands. More hands. This is ridiculous. How many people are going to join the PTO and bring in some food for the kids to eat, some vegan foods?
We've done it.
She's done it. Eileen from Florida, now New York, has done it. That is huge. Don't, you know, and I know that the kids love to eat new foods and fruits and vegetables, even if you're not a cook. How about just donating a bunch of fruits and vegetables to your school? Let them pass them out. Who cares where it comes from? Big issue in New York City, humane education. Anytime a teacher tries to teach it, they get put down and smacked down. It's already on the books. There's a lot of other laws on the books too. There's laws on the books that you're not supposed to push around cows with forklifts, yet they do it anyway. They've been on the books since 1908. You know, after The Jungle came out, the book, they said you can't treat any animals like this. They outlawed it. It's still going on 100 years later. They're pushing them around with forklifts because they're so drained that they can't even walk. That's ridiculous. We have to start, putting pressure on people to follow laws. Otherwise, laws are a waste of time. So we've got to put pressure on people, leaders, to either adopt a vegan diet or to start following laws that are already in place. A lot of people are out there trying to get new laws passed. Like, you look out in California. Those laws don't even take place for 5 years, and by the time they do, they're going to change the laws. And even if they don't change the laws, they're going to blow them off. This is getting ridiculous. We have to just start putting pressure on people to follow through. We can't be complacent anymore. No more complicity. Silence is complicity. It is. And tolerance is complicity. If you tolerate it, you're complicit in it. If you allow it to go on. We're allowing it to go on all around us. The McDonald's, I don't see anyone over there knocking hamburgers out of people's hands. I'm not going to do it. We're going to get punched. But we are tolerant of them. They're everywhere, and we don't say anything to them. We can walk by someone and they're eating something. Why not just say something to them? That's not a nice thing to do. I grew up in the Midwest. No one ever said anything to me about what I was doing. I was a terrible, evil man. I was a fishing guide for 30 years. And no one ever came to me and said, Dave, what you're doing to those fish, it's not nice. I wish they would have. If they would have, I would have said, you know what? You're right. It's not nice. I never heard the word vegan in 43 years growing up in Wisconsin. And I'm not a sheltered man. I'm educated. I got a master's degree. I never heard the word vegan. My school, my college, never taught me about humane education. Yet in Illinois schools, it's mandatory that teachers teach character education and get instruction on humane education. Yet state schools blow it off. I'm pretty upset about this. People are just hiding information from us. And most of the world, not in New York, but in the Midwest, they're walking around in a daze. They don't know what's going on. They're living a life of illusion. I was living a life of illusion. I woke up. But I woke up because no one told me. I just woke up on my own. I figured things out. There's a lot of people out there that they're never going to hear the word vegan. They're never going to know about factory farming. And they're just going to continue on. They're going to pump out the babies. They're going to have more corpse-munching babies. It's a bad situation. The only way to get things to change is if we get vegan lunches in school, humane education in school. Every kid's got to go through school. It'll solve the problem. But we have to start talking with kids. We have to. How many people here know a child? Raise your hand. All of us should know a child. Are you honest with that child? Did you tell your niece or nephew about veganism? I hope so, because if you didn't, you're as bad as the rest. You're guilty. Silence is complicity. That's all it is. I have one last thought, and it's this idea of personal choice. And when people are arguing with you and they don't want to talk about it, and they say, well, let's just agree to disagree, it's a personal choice. Your argument to them should be, it's not a personal choice when you're eating my friends and you're ruining my world. It's not a personal choice when I'm subsidizing factory farming. My tax money subsidizes your personal